Behemoth is a B&M Hyper coaster at Canada's Wonderland. Behemoth used to be the tallest and fastest coaster in Canada. I've been to Canada's Wonderland twice and I've ridden Behemoth about 4 times, and I'm here to share my thoughts on this awesome hyper coaster. History. Behemoth was actually the first major expansion that Canada's Wonderland got from Cedar Fair. Behemoth was one of the first times Cedar Fair worked with B&M in the 21st century. The coaster was actually the first time Cedar Fair used Canada's Wonderland as a test site for attractions they wanted to install universally. Canada's Wonderland was a great candidate for the first B&M Hyper because they lacked a B&M and a standout attraction, and they got great attendance. The coaster is almost guaranteed to be a success. The main concern for Cedar Fair was to actually see how popular the coaster would be, because they were pondering adding it to Kings Island and Carowinds. Those parks were in very similar situations to Wonderland, as they had both been just purchased by Cedar Fair. B&M Hypers are huge investments, so they wanted to make sure it would work, so they chose Wonderland as a low-risk location. The coaster cost them $26 million Canadian, so it made sense why they chose a low-risk location. The coaster would be a success and would result in 2 more B&M Hyper models being installed in the chain. The coaster took the height and drop record in Canada when it opened at a height of 70 meters or 230 feet. It features a drop of 69 meters or 226 feet. The Leviathan did break these records 4 years later. It reached its speeds of 124 kilometers per hour or 77 miles per hour. It's 1,620 meters long or 5,318 feet long, just making it over a mile long. It has a duration of 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Ride experience. As you walk up to the ride, you will see large letters spelling out the word Behemoth. You'll walk through the unthemed queue and you'll wait in the station, which is pretty small. In terms of where to sit on this coaster, I recommend sitting in the front on the staggered seats because it'll probably give you the smoothest experience, and the back doesn't differ too much in airtime. To kick off the ride, you'll take a half right turn into the lift hill and start your ascent into the sky. You'll then descend down the first drop. This coaster actually is a fairly steep drop and it's curved at the bottom. You'll then pull through a tight valley and float into the first airtime hill. You'll experience some of the best airtime on this hill of the whole ride. You'll then go through the hammerhead turn, which is mainly just there to get the train around. These are actually pretty fun in my opinion, even though a lot of hypers feature them. You then hit the buffet of airtime. The first hill is a solid little floater hill, but isn't that special. Then you go through a similar hill, but it's right next to the water. Then you go over a third hill, but this time it drops you right over the water. You then pop up into the mid-course brake run, which doesn't slow you down too much. You'll then hit an intense helix that pulls some decent forces. Then you hit a little ejector moment and then go over Flejector Hill and pop up into the final brake run. People tend to overlook how little space the park had to work with. Like, come on guys, they took a tiny sliver of land and put a massive coaster on it. That also makes the layout more unique than other hypers as well. The layout's probably one of the most compact on B&M hypers I've ever seen. In terms of ranking this coaster among other B&M hypers, I have it as my second favorite. I've only been on 4 B&M hypers as of the making of this video, and I rank it as number 2. Better than Nitro and Apollo by a hair, but significantly worse than Mako. Overall, this coaster makes a great addition to Canada's Wonderland. This coaster scores a 9 out of 10. The 1 point off is for the rattle and the hills not performing as well as they should. Behemoth is my second favorite coaster in the park. It's not the greatest ride by any means, but this was the first standout coaster the park ever got, and we should all respect that. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to give it a like and comment any thoughts on this coaster below. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. I'll see you all in the next video.